Hey, what's going on guys? Alex at HOGWORKZ. Today we're going to be talking about our LED vented turn signal. These are going to run on your 2014 to 2023 Street Glide, some select 24 models, so just check out hogworks.com for fitment. They're going to come in black and chrome. They're going to hook into your OEM bullet turn signal harness. So we're going to go ahead and get into the install now. So the first thing you'll want to do is take your windshield off. We have our spiked windshield bolts here. So this is going to be 7/16 wrench to take these 3 screws out. You may have a 3/16 Allen, something like that, just depending on what kind of, if you have an aftermarket trim piece or whatnot. So we'll go ahead and get this off. Go ahead and set this off to the side, and then we should be able to slide our windshield out. If this is a little tough to get out, you can loosen the bolts on the front fairing, but we can slide this out of here. All right, now the next thing we're gonna do is there's 4 bolts on the inside of the fairing that hold the inner and the outer together. We're gonna go ahead and remove those. It's gonna be a T27 Torx bit. Okay, and you want to keep in mind when you pull this last one out, the outer fairing is going to be loose, so you want to put your hand up here, make sure you're hanging on to it. Then once you pull the fairing out, you want to make sure you disconnect your headlight. And then you want to go and take the whole outer fairing and go set it on a table. So we want to remove the OEM trim piece here. This is just held on by some 3M and some little lock-in tabs on the back side here. There's these little tabs here, 4 of them. There might be some 3M sticky tape on here. What you could do is just kind of push up on these tabs, then this top will just kind of come down. Again, you may have some 3M sticky tape here. There might be some, under here and on here and here. If you need to use a little heat gun to heat it up to get that off of there. And then if there is 3M stuck on the fairing still, we'll want to go ahead and clean that up, get all that off of there. So looks like we do have a little bit on here. So I'll go ahead and get this cleaned up. For stuff like this, you can use some Goo Gone, your fingernail. If it's in a spot that's not going to be seen, you could use a little scraper. Our new one's going to come with some 3M sticky on there already. We really want to make sure we clean these surfaces up so that can get a good bond onto our fairing. Now that we got our 3M cleaned up, we can go ahead and install our new LED vent. It's going to go in from the outside of the fairing. It's going to go in like this. Put your wires through first. We want to angle it like this. We're going to put these 2 top tabs in first. And then just before we do that, we'll take off the 3M adhesive here. And then don't forget about your 2 pieces on the bottom. Okay, so we'll go ahead and slide this up in here. You want to get these tabs on the back side of this part of the fairing. Just like that. And then what you do is, you can see the 2 tabs here at the bottom. You want to go ahead and just push the bottom of it in. Here, click in. And that's really all there is to install the actual LED trim. So these connections are going to hook up to your bullet signals. So what we want to do is come over here. You're going to get a splitter harness with the lights, 1 for each side. What we need to do is we just want to pull the bullet off, and there's connection up here, and all we're going to do is take the bullet light out. We're going to put this splitter in and run it through the hole, and then we kind of want our connections to be right about like in here so that they're sticking through. That way when we go to put the fairing on, we can make our connections here. So we'll go ahead and remove the OEM bullets. That's going to be a 1/2-inch wrench to take off your acorn nuts. So again, all we want to do is disconnect it, put our Y splitter in here, and then reconnect our bullet here. And then we want to feed this wire through the hole and pull it on the inside of the fairing. And then we can go ahead and reattach our bullet. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna push this stuff through this hole so that we can attach our vent light on the inside of the fairing. Here's our connections here. There's one there and one there. This is what our vent light LEDs are gonna plug into. All right, so we're ready to go ahead and install the fairing. Here, what we have and what you'll want to pay attention to now is you got two wires. One is for the left side, one is for the right side. Don't forget to connect your headlight power. Got that. So here we got the left side power. Then we got the right side power. Tidy up these wires with the zip tie. We do supply some zip ties, so you can go ahead and, you know, kind of bunch some of this up, zip tie it together in a spot that's gonna leave you some room to be able to pull this out if you need to take the fairing off again. All right, so after you have your connections made, it's a good idea before you go and put the fairing back on and mount it all up, go ahead and turn the bike on. Make sure that the lights are functioning correctly. So they have daytime running and then sequential turn. So we got daytime running on now. Hit the turn on this side. That looks good. All right, so now at this point, you know your lights are hooked up correctly. You can go ahead and reinstall the fairing. You can go ahead and slide your windshield back into place here. Might have to pull out on the outer just a little bit to get it to drop down into place. All right, so go ahead and double check all your bolts and screws, make sure everything's tight, and you're ready to go.